Today I'm thinking about opportunity cost. If you haven't heard of this before, opportunity cost is a critical concept to understand. Basically, it's saying, given the resources that I have right now, what is the best use I can put those resources towards in order to achieve the highest outcome? And this is a concept that's not understood by many, and even for those that it is understood by, they're not applying it widely enough. So like I said yesterday, everything's connected to everything. And I was on a call last night with a couple guys. We talk about real estate and crypto and investments. And one guy was talking about how he has this opportunity in front of him, and it's a good deal. It's a real estate deal, and it's got a cash flow, and equity is okay. And he was going back and forth as to whether it was worth doing or not. And I just made the point, it's like, okay, you have such amount of money available to you. It's not even his money because he has a capital partner, and you have such and such time that the deal will take as far as to set up and then ongoing in maintenance. What could you do with that same capital in that same time? And he was talking it through, and the conclusion he came to was that he could make similar kinds of returns in investments that he's already in, but the advantage to this deal is there's potential upside on the back end and it's diversifying. So he made the decision to go ahead and move forward with it. And I think that was probably the right decision for his situation, given his available opportunities. And opportunity cost is so critical because it's never something that we see. If we got a bill for something, then you see the money going out. But this is just things that could have been, and it's very hard to get a clear idea of how all that works. Right now, today, I have one call scheduled with a advertising agency that we're hiring, and the rest of my day is open because it's still Christmas break. And the question I have to ask myself is, okay, given the resources that I have available now, what's the highest and best use? That's how they determine in real estate, highest and best use. Many moons ago, I went through the appraisal licensing course, and that's always the question. What's the highest and best use of this piece of property? That's basically opportunity cost. If you have a piece of land that is vacant land, the highest and best use? Certainly not. It could be agriculture, it could be an office tower, it could be anything else. And the question is, what is the best use? So today, I have my time, I have funds available. What's the highest and best use of my time? And the thing about opportunity cost is that these choices compound over time. And this is actually why small business does not grow at the same rates as large businesses. You listen to the guys on the All In podcast, and they talk about growth rates of 40% a year for decent sized businesses that are in the millions of dollars worth of annual revenue, hundreds of millions even. And how can it be that a company that is so large compared to most companies in the world can still grow at such phenomenal rates? And the answer is that they have very little drag. But a small business, you have your lifestyle, which the business has to support. And that is an enormous drag. Let's say your business makes $150,000 a year, which is pretty good by all standards. Of that $150,000, you take 100 of it for your lifestyle. That leaves 50 for operations, growth, reinvestment. Now compare that to a VC-backed company where the drag on the growth reinvestment is essentially zero because the owners of the business don't need to withdraw operating capital. So that money can be put to work again and compound over time. Over a relatively short period of time, you'll get a huge divergence in the performance of those two businesses, even on a percentage basis, even if the absolute numbers are different, because small business is defunding the business by 2/3 in this case. That opportunity cost is what could that $100,000 have done within the business? And you'll never know, really, because it might mean hiring a new person. It might mean starting a new ad campaign, developing a new product. Who knows? The unknown future is relatively infinite. Obviously, you can't live on nothing. So you're always going to have this opportunity cost in the business sense, but you're also going to have this opportunity cost in every other sense, in the relationships that you make, in the health choices that you could make. So just as we go through our days, it's, I think, just critical to think, is this the best use of my resources and my time? What are my goals? Am I progressing towards those goals? Is this a distraction? You can go back to the chain idea of the different areas of your life and shoring up the weakest ones in order to have a well-balanced life. You can look at the urgent important matrix and figure out what are the things that are important to you and how can I progress towards them, and am I, even in progressing towards them, am I making the right decisions? That's what's on my mind today.